Hi guys, Robbie46 here and welcome to the race results and analysis for today's MotoGP race at Brno, the Czech Republic. And whilst that's going on, I'm going to be playing the track on the Valentino Rossi game. And yeah, so the race was wet. It actually stopped raining from Moto3 and Moto2 because it was pissing down in those races. It stopped raining for MotoGP. And everyone thought that the track was going to dry out, so the majority of riders going for the soft front and rear wet tyres. There was a few exceptions with Rossi and Lorenzo going for soft front and hard rears, and Crutchlow and Baz going for hard front and hard rear. I think there's one other person who done hard front and rear as well. I can't remember off the top of my head who that was, but off the line the Ducatis flew off the line and pretty much into the lead straight away. Lorenzo got a pretty good start. Rossi didn't get the best of starts, got boxed in the first corner, but it was Andrea Dovizioso who took the lead to begin with. Marquez was up there, he was battling for the lead as well. He got into the lead past Dovizioso, and it was looking like Marquez was actually going to pull away because he tried to go as soon as he could to push, obviously expecting to come in at some point to change bikes. Iannone he got past Lorenzo up to third and was closing in on Dovizioso, and soon overtook Dovizioso and started to hunt down Marquez. Lorenzo unfortunately started going backwards, and Rossi did as well. Rossi going down to 12th place, and Lorenzo going back even further. He was getting overtaken up the inside, around the outside. He had riders everywhere going past him, and he ended up, he was like in 14th behind Rossi. The Yamaha's really struggling, and it was looking like they had yet again made the wrong tyre choice for the race. At the front, Iannone got back past in front of Marquez, and then so did Dovizioso, and it was looking like it was going to be more of the same from Austria with the Ducati pair 1 and 2. Scott Redding, he was making great headway in the race. He got up to the front few. He was on the back of Marquez, got past Marquez, and then he was with the leaders. He was in third place, and he had a little battle with Dovizioso, got past Dovizioso, and it was looking like Iannone was pulling away, but then it was changing lap on lap with Redding setting the fastest lap and then catching back up to Iannone, but not quite having enough to get back past him. It was looking like they were dropping Dovizioso, but he soon got managed to catch back up. The two Suzukis were doing well. Alicia Spargo, who's battling with his teammate Maverick Vinales, and Hector Barbera, he was coming along nicely as well. He was battling with the Suzukis, got ahead of Vinales, and then got ahead of Alicia. Alicia got ahead of Marquez, and so did Barbera. So Barbera was up to 4th, Alicia was 5th, and then you had Marquez in 6th, Vinales 7th. The two Monster Tech 3 Yamaha teammates, they were 8th and 9th. Bradley Smith just ahead of Espargaro at the time. But when the track started drying a little bit, obviously it wasn't raining anymore. It wasn't drying a huge amount, but it was just starting to dry enough to start degrading the soft tyres. You had Cal Crutchlow, who I did mention at the beginning of the video. He was on hard front and rear, and he was making some massive headway. He was going 1.6 seconds a lap quicker than Iannone. He was still in the lead at this point. So Crutchlow was on the march. He got past Rossi. He was past the Suzukis, and he was hunting them down. He was looking good on the Honda. Loris Baz, he was coming forward as well, as was Valentino Rossi. He was up to about 8th place, past the two Tech 3 Yamahas, and he was closing on the Suzukis in front. Lorenzo started to make a bit of headway to begin with. Just after half race distance, Lorenzo decided to come into the pit because he thought it was the right time to change tyres. But he kind of threw a bit of a paddy in the pit. I don't know what he was doing. He's just like having a go at his mechanics. He wasn't in a rush to change bikes either. He was pretty slow getting off the bike. He didn't do his usual thing of jumping from one bike to the other. He got off, had a heated discussion, got on the bike, and eventually got back out on the track. Dovizioso, he was having tyre problems. A lot of the people on the soft tyres were having problems, and Dovizioso was dropping back from Redding and Iannone. Redding was dropping back from Iannone. Iannone was looking good. A bit later on, Dovizioso came into the pit, and just like Lorenzo, he had a bit of a paddy in the pit as well. I don't think he actually wanted to go back out, but his team kind of forced him to go back out on track. So he swapped bikes, again not in any haste to swap machines. He went back out, but he only done a couple of laps before coming back in and retiring and just saying to his team, I'm not doing this anymore. And yeah, went into the pit. Alicia Spargo, who was looking really good, he unfortunately had a crash on his Suzuki. So he was up the sharp end, unfortunately didn't finish the race, so he was out. Bradley Smith as well, he was having troubles. He unfortunately retired as well. Danny Pedrosa, he was having a bit of an off day as well. He was way down in about 13th. He was trying to catch up to Paul Espargaro. He would drop down as well. Eugene Laverty, he was making his way forward. Crutchlow, he was with the leaders now, and he had so much better grip on the rear, and he could brake much later with his hard front, and he just managed to get past Hector Barbera, and then kind of had a little play with him and had a little battle with him. Hector trying to get the better of Crutchlow, but eventually Crutchlow managed to get past him, and yeah, he was hunting down Iannone, and he got him so quick. He got him just from better grip, better drive out the corners, and moved into the lead. Rossi was making his way through the field as well. He got back past Hector Barbera. He was past Iannone and into second place. Iannone and Barbera, they were dropping back. Redding had dropped back significantly through the field. He was really struggling with his front tyre. And he in fact dropped outside the top 10 in the closing stages of the race. So unfortunately his tyre's not lasting. But Marc Marquez, he had a second wind and started attacking Hector Barbera and Iannone, getting the better of both of them and moving into third place. Iannone, his tyre, after Lorenzo pitted yet again and again threw a paddy when he went in, he came back out, and then he started mixing with the front guys. Wasn't getting out of their way. Of course, he had fresh tyres on, so he could go quicker, but he was interfering with their races. And just when Lorenzo was behind Iannone's front tyre, a massive chunk of tyre just exploded off of his front tyre. There was no rubber in the centre of his tyre at all on the front. So he only had a bit of rubber on the sides, but he was still going. He did start losing loads of time because he was going wide all the time. He couldn't brake properly. Obviously, he didn't have that contact patch with the track. Eugene Laverty and Danilo Petrucci were coming up through the field as well. But over the line, it was Cal Crutchlow taking his maiden victory. Great to see after having a British winner in Moto3 with John McPhee, and Sam Lowes getting third place in Moto2. Cal Crutchlow brought it home for Britain, and after the success of GB in the Olympics, it's Britain's first Premier Class win in 35 years since Barry Sheene. So Crutchlow took the win, followed by Valentino Rossi in second, and Marc Marquez got third. Loris Baz got his teammate Hector Barbera on the final lap to take fourth. So Barbera took fifth. Eugene Laverty, he got sixth place. Danilo Petrucci was seventh. Andrea Iannone with a completely destroyed front tyre, he was eighth. Maverick Vinales ended in ninth. Tito Rabat, a top 10 for him, he was 10th. Yoni Hernandez was 11th. Danny Pedrosa, pretty bad race for him. He ended in 12th. Pol Espargaro, after having a good start to the race, he dropped down to 13th and finished there. Stefan Bradl was 14th. Scott Redding, unfortunately, he was battling for the lead, but his tyres just couldn't hold on, and he dropped down to 15th, and that is where he finished. He took the final point with Alvaro Bautista in 16th, and Jorge Lorenzo, the only person getting lapped after pitting twice and throwing a big paddy twice, he ended in 17th. And our non-finishers, as I've already said, Andrea Dovizioso, who retired, as did Bradley Smith, and Alicia Spargaro, he was out as well. So it was a crazy race. To begin with, it was looking like Rossi had made the complete wrong tyre choice and made a complete cock-up. As it did Crutchlow, because he was really far down on the first lap as well. But with those hard tyres, they both managed to make their way through the field and take first and second. So congratulations to Cal Crutchlow on his first ever win in MotoGP. What that does mean, however, is that Valentino Rossi moves up to second place in the championship, overtaking his teammate Jorge Lorenzo. Marquez actually extended his lead by a few points, but now it is Rossi who is in second. So Marquez is leading with 197 points, and in second place is Rossi with 144, and then Jorge Lorenzo in third with 138. So I'm sure we're going to see the Yamahas chopping and changing throughout the next few races, but as for Brno, it's such a good race to watch. Anyway guys, that is it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel for more content. I shall see you guys in the next video. See you!